Start with the heart. Before you have the conversation, check in with your heart and make sure that you want that person to be successful as a person and a career, perhaps not in that job, right? Perhaps there's a bad job fit, but that doesn't mean that you wish them ill will, et cetera. You want them to succeed, so you want them to help find the correct job. So again, always sort of start with the heart. And then the second thing I'd say is a great technique is to get into the habit of giving feedback. And in particular, frequent feedback, which means frequent small feedback. And I think I learned this from the Manager Tools podcast. They have this wonderful little format. And it basically says, here you need to learn this format so that you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about it. You just apply the format. It's like, hey, Don, can I give you some feedback? So that's it. Step number one. Can I give you some feedback? You ask for permission. Don, can I give you some feedback?
Yeah.
So the question, and then when you give a talk and you refer to this, the audience really responds. Therefore, you should do that again. Okay? So now I gave him feedback, right? When these things happen, then here's the outcome. Going forward, the behavior you'd like to see. So again, 4 things. Ask permission, when, conditions, then, outcomes, going forward something. And it's small, and notice I did it as a positive. Having done it as a positive and having had this pattern of this, you then have that as a muscle, right? Now, hey, Don, when you do this, now I'm going to give you something where it's not as good and where I'd like you to improve. But all of a sudden, there's some trust developed, like, okay, this person's helping me. You can deliver some really hard messages if the person on the other side of the table believes that in your heart you want them to succeed. And that's not the case here. Anyway, so that's the thing. Like, hey, if again in your heart you really want that person to succeed and then you develop this muscle, then you can start to confront some of the harder issues and they can be heard.